Hello. Today we will be talking about White's Bounty Hunter boots. Smoke jumper semi-dress. Bison leather. Bison brown. These are 8-inch boots. I've had them for about a year and a half now. They are absolutely excellent in every way. In every way. These boots are extremely tough, extremely comfortable, and extremely expensive. However, the expense part is justified in a lot of ways. These boots, I chose to get the 8-inch. I got the toe cap, as you can see. I also got them lined. I got them lined with white. They have several options. Or it's cream, sorry. As far as colors go, they had like a reddish color, tan, I believe black, and they had this cream. And when I was at Baker's Boots, which is in Eugene, Oregon, and that's where I typically get my boots from, Kyle, is a great go-to guy. Actually, the whole staff there is top-notch. I believe it was Kyle's brother talked to me initially when I had ordered these. That sometimes the other colors can seep into, bleed off into your socks and whatnot. That's why I chose the cream color, and I've never had any issues. And these come with 2 sets of laces. They came with the those yellow brown laces and leather laces, and I chose to keep the leather laces in. And I've had these a year and a half and wore them constantly. I remodeled one of my businesses. Took me almost a year to do so, and I wore these almost every day doing it. As you can see, I wore the sole down pretty good. Now this sole is not very thick to begin with. It's not a lot of traction, and when I do get them resoled, I'm going to go with the lug sole next time. But this traction wears off rather quickly, and they are slick, so I need a little more grip. But for what I was doing, the remodel, I was inside most of the time, and the weather when I was outside was actually during a nice time of the year in Oregon, so they worked out great. This bison leather is tough as nails. I think it's one of the toughest leathers out there. I got the brass eyelets and speed laces. Their speed laces are tough. They are machined one-piece speed lace, so they're not like those cheap ones you get on like an Iron Ranger boot that bend. I mean, you bend this, you really tried to. So they're tough. I also got the pull loop in the back, and if you notice, it is a fully gusseted tongue. It goes all the way up. Stacked leather heels. It also has the arch ease, which is a leather shank. So it's got a leather arch support in here, and if I'm correct, it's a leather shank. I may be wrong. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a metal shank. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm almost 100% positive that Whites do not use that, because a lot of the guys out firefighting, they don't want their feet to get hot, so they have a leather shank. Yes, it's Westco that has the steel shank. So I'm going to be sending these in for a re-sole. And we talked about these being great and comfortable once they break in. I mean, these are like butter now. And I took them to Kyle. He was checking them out down at Baker's. He's like, these are like butter. And I gotta say, they're so comfortable. They are hard to break in. They are tough to break in. But once you break them in, they mold to your feet. It does not have a cushioned footbed. It has a leather footbed, and your foot starts to mold to that footbed, and it becomes your boot only. Buying a pair like these used, I just can't see doing that, because like I said, anything with a leather footbed, your foot will sink into it, almost like pressing into foam. Yeah, it's not feel like foam, but it gets so comfortable after a while. Your foot molds to this boot. So if you're looking to buy a pair of these used, somebody's toes don't look like yours. They're not going to match up, and Eventually, yeah, your foot will mold into it, but let's say your toe's over this way a little more, you're going to have that big gap there where somebody else's toe was. I highly advise new ones. Save up for them. They are, I believe these were all custom. I filled out a form. I went through the leather. I took a good, they didn't feel I needed a custom fit because my foot's pretty standard. I wear a 9.5, and these were an E. Now, I would change that probably to a 10 next time, because as you bend your foot and over time, they do tend to shrink a little bit. It tends to bend your toe in. So my toe used to be back a little further, and it's pretty much to the front of the boot now. I do try to stretch them back here and there, but yeah, I'm going to go with the 10D next time, I think, just for that reason. So when I'm going to have them resoled, and I should be able to get these resoled probably 3, 4 times maybe. And then as long as the uppers are in good shape still, you can get them rebuilt for about 200 to 220 bucks. And they'll rebuild your boot, send it back to you, it'll look brand new, and that's when you can have your size changed at that point, up or down. If this size, your foot, you know, you lost some weight and your foot shrank, you can change that and change your size. And then once I get it rebuilt, I can go on to have it resoled another 3, maybe 4 times, and then I can have it rebuilt again and resold. I can probably have it rebuilt and resold for, I think it's three times rebuilt, somewhere around there, maybe 4 stretching it. And as long as the uppers are really in good shape, you take care of them, I think you can get that. This boot probably lasts me the rest of my life. I paid about $500. It's been a year and a half. Oh, over $500 for it, because of the bison leather, because of the upgrades, like the the rolled top here I got. I mean, these little things cost money. The leather lining on the inside was an extra 30 or what have you, and the toe cap, you know, little things like that cost you extra. Westco charges like $100 or more for the inside lining. Don't understand that when Whites and Nicks charge 30. Great boot. I'll give you a couple up close looks at this boot. Like I said, it is the Whites. It is the semi-dress smoke jumper, which they call the Bounty Hunter. It needs to be cleaned, so anybody wants to leave a comment about that, I already know this. They're dirty. They need to be washed up. They need to be brushed up. They need to be oiled up, the whole works. And I will do a video on that. It's all fully welted all the way around. It's full welt. And as you can see, just from time, that area up front starts to kind of, I don't know, crinkle up here. So it, you know, instead of having a good thumb's width in between my toe now, I got about half a thumb's width, and at times when I'm crunched down, it'll touch the front of my boot, which is uncomfortable. I do take care of these boots, but I do trample around in them a lot. So, and I have a lot of boots, so I switch off in between, and at times I get busy and I don't take the time to clean them like I should, but I will do a nice video on them. So that's the bottom of them. As you can see what the traction look like, it's not very deep. It's maybe a 1/16 of an inch, so this wears really quick, and it's not meant to be a traction type of bottom. And the heel, what I noticed is kind of an interesting thing, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but I typically wear my heel down to the left really hard and to the right really hard. With these, and I don't know if it's because of the built-in arch support making me walk correctly, but they're almost wearing even now, as to where with any other shoe I wear, I typically wear down the left and right part of my heel. Now my right on this is worn more than the rest of the boot, but on my other boots this wears really heavy. So I'm not sure if this is a form of correction for your posture or the way you walk, but that is something that I noticed about this boot. The other thing that's really great about them is if you look at the way this back comes in right here, it really tucks your heel down into that boot, causing it to not slip around. When you crank these on around your foot, you're in them. You're in it to win it. Now let me tell you about these laces. These are White's laces. I've had them on here, cranked down on this boot, and they're the best laces as far as leather laces go that I've had so far. And I've had Baker's leather laces wherever they get those. I don't know if they get them from Drew's Boots, so I know they're one and the same. I've had Nick's Red Wing leather laces. We don't even need to talk about those, are junk. White's over Nick's leather laces all day long. I've had, this is kind of getting into a segue off, but I've had 2 separate pairs of Nick's laces in my they're Nick's Ranger boots, and they have broken both times. So I'm on my 3rd, and I don't wear them nearly as much as I wear these. So these laces from White's, they're legit and they stand up. So when these break, which they don't look like that, knock on wood, anytime soon, I'll order White's laces from now on as far as their leather laces go. These boots can be ordered on White's website. However, they're having some issues right now with getting that website up and running. I don't know how long it's going to be, so if you want to get this done and you want a nice pair of bounty hunter boots, or any White's boots or Nick's or Baker's boots, you can call them up. They're in Eugene, Oregon. You can ask for Kyle. Great guy. I've ordered lots of boots through Kyle, and I think that you'd be pleasantly surprised at how their customer service is. As far as customer service goes, I'd say they're probably the best customer service I've ever had from any company that I've ever dealt with. They're just on it. They're on it. So yeah, they'll fit your foot if you're local. If not, you can send in a fit sheet. I believe that you can download a fit sheet off of White's website or Baker's, and they'll either send you a fit sheet, and sometimes I think you can download them online. Either way, you can do your fit sheet, and at that point in time you send it in. They will tell you what size you need and whether you need it custom built or not. Another cool feature about this is the stacked leather heel here. Okay, a lot of companies with other boot manufacturers, it's either all rubber or it's some kind of a plastic. No, not with this. It's stacked leather, and you can just feel that this boot is like old school, authentic. Built fully in the U.S. in Washington. I've heard some things about White's changing ownership and their quality control going down. I have another pair of bounty hunters that are distressed rough out, and I have not worn them yet. And I will do a video on them. I've had them for about 6 months. I haven't worn them. Yes, I would say that the quality of them were not the quality of these. However, they're still top notch. I just think that whoever is doing the stitching or what have you, they maybe need to put somebody else in there. Nothing wrong with it as far as longevity goes, just the aesthetics of it, which these are not built to be some like dressy boot in my opinion. Not this type. They do have White's dress shoes which look cool, and I think they might spend a little more time on attention to detail with that. I'm not sure. I can say in closing that if you're looking to have a pair of bounty hunter boots built for you, get a hold of Baker's Boots. And I know I'm not affiliated with them at all, but they've always done me right. And I'm going to be talking to Kyle about my other pair of bounty hunters that I haven't worn, and see what we can do. Even though it's been like 6 months, I'm not sure if he can do anything for me at this point. I've just kind of felt like they weren't built quite like these, but it could have just been the guy doing it that day. Anyway, if not, I'll wear the hell out of them, just like I wear these. I'll be doing a cool cleanup video on these really soon. Show you how to clean these up, make them look almost brand new. Every time I do these and clean them up, they look so sharp. You know, they look so beautiful. And you know, the other cool thing about this leather in closing here is when you have, like I said, I wear a 9.5 D or E in this, which I'm going to go up to a 10, but you need to make your decision on whether you're going to wear some sort of an insole or not. That will determine if you're going to, how you're going to size these. Because if you're going to wear a nice thick wool sock and you're going to put an insole in here, you're not going to wear the same size as if you skipped the insole. You're going to more than likely want to wear a nice wool sock though, keep your foot comfortable. But I wear like a 10.5 in Nikes, in Vans, in a Georgia Romeo boot. And when I got sized for these ones, they sized me at a 9.5 E, and they do fit really well. I'd like it a little snugger is all. I mean, the difference is minute, but maybe for me personally, I think just a little tighter up in this area would have been better for me. But that's fine. I mean, I wear thick socks, but I do not wear an insole. There's no synthetic materials in here, so what happens is your feet don't smell. You take care of your boot the right way, and you put your shoe tree in it, and it absorbs the moisture in that boot and odors. I put that in after every time I use one of my boots, regardless of what boot it is, and I have a lot of these, and it'll suck moisture and it'll take odors out. And every here and again, after you've been wearing them for a while, I'm not saying your feet won't sweat, but they just don't smell like wearing a synthetic material shoe or boot. Take a little bit of water with some baking soda in it and pour it in your boot. Swoosh it about for a minute or so, let it sit, empty it out, let your boot dry, and it just takes any kind of odors that you may have had, that kind of musty smell that tends to happen with leather, it takes it right out. And then just keep your shoe trees in there. And you know, as one of the benefits about an all leather boot is you no longer have that synthetic causing your feet to sweat something awful. I'm not saying your feet won't sweat in these, they will, but it's just different. It's different. You'd have to own one of these to understand it. If there's anything I didn't discuss or you have any questions, please feel free to comment. If you like the video, click subscribe and like it. And you know, I'm new to this, so I'm just wanting to see if this is something that people want to watch, and if they're interested in them, I'll just keep on making videos, if not for anybody but myself and my, you know, anybody who likes them, but for myself mainly. I enjoy talking, and I enjoy talking about things like this. This is something American-made product that not a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people know about. These are special boot to me. They will always be in my closet. I will always take care of them and continue to wear them. I love them, love them, love them. Can't recommend them enough. Again, I'm Vinny, doing a boot review on the White's Bounty Hunter boot. If you like it, subscribe, hit like. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. I'll be hooking you all up with how to take care of these bad boys and clean them up, and you'll see a huge difference between this and when I'm done. All right, until then, I'll talk to you later. Thank you.